Listen, stop with the multi-step skincare routines, the prescriptions of birth control, Accutane, and antibiotics to clear your skin. Instead, listen to this video. In this video, I am going to break down the 5 most common root causes of acne and provide you with solutions, simple, natural solutions, so that you can have the clear skin I know you are wanting. Please understand that true acne healing, it begins on the inside. Acne is just an outward expression of your body trying to tell you that something on the inside is off. Personally, I struggled with acne for 9 long years, and I ignored the signs of acne, and I ignored all the other symptoms that I was having as well that was trying to tell me that something on the inside is going on. However, once I started to uncover and to really understand the deep root issues of my acne, that is when my skin started to improve and started to clear up. During my time working with clients who had acne, plus the hours of research I did on my own, and then the experiments I did on myself to figure out what was going on, I noticed that there were 5 common root causes of acne. The first and the most common cause of acne that I noticed was blood sugar imbalances. Interesting enough, when I was doing my research, I saw in the Canadian Medical Journal, there was this article that was written about, I believe it was in 1958. And essentially in this article, they were coining acne as diabetes of the skin, which again, I found to be super interesting. And the reason why they did so was because there's this correlation with acne and insulin regulation. So then I think it's important to talk a little bit about insulin. Insulin is a hormone that is released when glucose is high within your bloodstream. So essentially, let's say that you are eating a diet that is high in refined sugars, that's like candies, or even refined carbs. So think of your pastas, your pastries, your white bread. So you're eating a diet that's high in that. It's causing these blood sugar spikes every time you're eating it. So then insulin is then being released, by your pancreas into your bloodstream to remove that glucose. But essentially the problem is, which is leading to the acne, is that when insulin is released, there's this additional hormone that is released as well. And this hormone is called insulin-like growth factor 1. And so whenever that hormone is released as well, it also increases the production of sebum. Sebum is actually the oil that is on your skin, and essentially it leads to clogged pores, which overall leads to acne. And so that is a correlation between the insulin and acne. Now that you understand that about insulin, here are some other additional symptoms that you may be experiencing as well, if indeed blood sugar imbalances is the cause of your acne. So some other symptoms may be you have like the jawline acne. You also are experiencing oily and textured skin. You're having extreme sugar cravings, or you've noticed that after you eat, you're super tired. So a quick little solution that you can do that could help with balancing your sugar is when you are eating like foods that are refined, like let's just say that you're wanting to eat a donut or something like that. I would suggest that before you eat that donut, or really any refined carb or any sugar or anything like that, it's best to pair it with a protein, a good quality protein, and a healthy fat. So eat that first, then eat the sugar or the carb or whatever it is. But that just helps with balancing the sugar so it's not that sharp spike that is causing the acne and the clogged pores. The second possible cause of your acne could actually be gut health issues. Have you ever heard of the gut-skin axis? If not, I can tell you. Essentially what it is, it's a theory that is proposing that the condition of your gut microbiome is actually reflected on your skin and vice versa. Therefore, if your gut microbiome is out of balance, which is called dysbiosis, then the acne on your skin could be a reflection of that. And so technically what dysbiosis It's essentially the condition of your gut is one where there's a large amount of bad gut bacteria compared to good gut bacteria. This condition of dysbiosis is actually a problem because it actually is weakening the walls of your gut lining. And so I'm sure you've heard of the term before, leaky gut, but essentially that just comes from the fact that the bacteria that's in the gut right there or within the gut, there's a high amount of the bad bacteria and they're releasing toxins, and these toxins are basically breaking down the walls of your gut lining, causing inflammation, and then the walls of the gut lining start to essentially open up and tear in a way, like very, 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 very small micro tears. Essentially, all of the toxins that were supposed to be excreted out within the toilet via poop are now moving and escaping through the holes. And so then that's when you'll start to see, for some people, they start to have rashes, you'll see psoriasis, you'll see acne. I mean, there's other issues that some people may have, and it may not be in the form of rashes, but essentially that is what's causing the acne overall. And so for me in my own story, as you'll see in the pictures that I'm uploading or that I'm going to display, that like I literally was having a lot. I called them random rashes all the time. But like when I tell you I was dealing with leaky gut, I really was dealing with leaky gut. And for me, that was like a huge game changer. Once I was able to heal my gut, like my skin really started to heal. Like I said, even the rashes went away. And so then some other signs that you may experience if gut health issues is the culprit for your acne, it could be bloating, constipation, diarrhea, any like basically digestive issues like that. More than likely, if you're experiencing that and acne and the rashes, I'm telling you, gut health issues is probably one of the problems you're dealing with. Side note, I also want to bring to your attention that if your dermatologist prescribed you with a antibiotic, that's what happened to me. I was prescribed with doxycycline, which again is an antibiotic. You also have to realize that if you are given an antibiotic, it actually wipes out your entire gut flora. And that is the good and the bad. So if that is the case for you, I would recommend, especially if you've taken it recently, even if you've taken an antibiotic for any other issue, like antibiotics literally wipe out all of the good and bad bacteria. So if you are in that scenario or whatevs, I would suggest that you start taking a probiotic as soon as possible. Alrighty, so I do want to tell you that if you are looking for more simple, natural ways to heal your gut, then check out the guide that I made. I made this guide. It's called the No Pill Acne Healing Solution. And essentially, in this guide, I explain to you the 5 common causes of acne, and then I give you natural solutions to start the healing process of that. If you are interested, look in the description below. Now, for our third common cause of acne, what I started to notice within myself and what I noticed in other people that I worked with is that we were starting to show symptoms of toxin overload. And so essentially what I'm meaning by that is like in our body, we have 5 major organs of toxin removal. These 5 organs are your lymph, your skin, the liver, kidneys, and your colon. So out of these 5 organs of elimination, the liver plays the largest and the most crucial role out of all of them. The liver is the main organ where detoxification goes down, also the processing and the regulation of hormones. And so with that being said, if the liver is overburdened with toxins, then unfortunately, in the case of acne, the toxins are being released through the skin. There are some other symptoms that you may notice. So when you are dealing with a toxin overload and essentially your liver is being overburdened, is you'll start to see acne on your forehead. You may actually start having migraines and headaches, different symptoms like that. Your skin may be really dull, dryness of the skin. These are all symptoms and that are indicating that a toxin overload could be the culprit behind your acne. I do want to talk about how amazing the liver is. Honestly, the liver is one of my favorite organs. And as a naturopathic doctor, I think it's so important to incorporate herbs. And so, whenever I'm thinking about the liver, or even when I'm helping anybody with supporting their liver, there's two main herbs that I love to introduce them to. So, the first one is milk thistle, and then the second one is dandelion. So, the next time that you're at the grocery store and you are in the tea aisle, I would recommend that you look for a dandelion tea, and then you start to incorporate that into your routine and you drink a cup of dandelion tea daily. And that is a great way to start supporting your liver and helping with clearing your skin. The fourth possible cause of acne could actually be stress. A telltale sign that stress is the culprit of your acne could just be that you start to break out after a very stressful event. This event could be a big life event. This could be exams. This could even be a breakup. It could just be anything that you deem as stressful, and then you get acne. That is a telltale sign. Some other signs could be that that you struggle with sleeping, um, you're dealing with anxiety, you have a large carb and sugar craving. These are all additional signs that possibly stress could be the culprit of your acne. And why this is a problem is because essentially, when you are stressed out, you release the hormone cortisol. Once cortisol is released, essentially your body then switches into fight or flight mode. When your body is in that survival mode, there are biological changes it undergoes so that it can help you defend yourself towards this perceived threat. So there's a few biological changes that occur actually that impact your skin. And so some of these changes that happen is there's an influx of glucose into the bloodstream, which that's like what we talked about before when we talked about the insulin regulation. Then there's also an increase in oil production, the sebum, and then there's also an increase in systemic inflammation. And so all of these things that are going on in the body, once cortisol is released, it is contributing to that acne. And so what a great way to help reduce this stress that you're dealing with is to incorporate daily stress reducing routines throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout your month, whatever it is that you need to do to reduce your stress. That is the best thing. And so I would suggest, and these are things that I just like to do as well, but it's like daily walking, get out in nature, um, reading of the Bible, prayer. Those are things I love to journal. Anything that you can do that can reduce your stress, I would definitely highly recommend it, especially if you've noticed that there's a correlation with acne to stressful events. Hey, if you've made it this far in the video, please like it so that I know that you are enjoying this content. Alrighty, so for our last and final cause of acne, it is hormone imbalance. And so for hormone imbalance, I think it's important to talk about what are hormones. Think of hormones as your body's communicators. So essentially what hormones are doing is they're sending out signals to your organs, and your organs and your body are doing things because of the hormones. And in particular, when I talk about hormone imbalances in this portion, I'm talking about three different hormones that actually affect your reproductive system. The hormones that I talked about before, which were insulin and cortisol, they were affecting more of your metabolism. I will say that there is one hormone in particular, which is the thyroid hormone. It actually affects the reproductive system and the metabolism as well. So, with these three hormones that could be out of balance, which are your thyroid hormone, your testosterone, and estrogen. And so, if any of these three are out of balance, you will start to notice symptoms of PMS, water retention, weight gain, weight loss, unwanted hair growth, or cystic acne. And so if you're experiencing any of these types of symptoms, then more than likely the culprit of your acne could be because of a hormone imbalance. And so if I'm working with a client and they have a hormone imbalance, what I like to do, which is really helpful, is to do labs. And so if you are wanting labs, let me know. You can DM me. Let me know if you want help in that area. But essentially, when it comes to labs, labs are really great for hormone imbalances, because then once I can see the levels that you are at, then when we are re-regulating it, it's just nice to have that data. But essentially, when your hormones are out of balance, it's actually pretty simple in recalibrating them. And so what you can do is you can do simple lifestyle changes or simple nutritional changes. Those things help really great in balancing your hormones. Speaking of hormonal imbalances causing hormonal acne, I have a question for you. Has your dermatologist or your primary care physician, did they suggest that you should take birth control to help clear your acne? If that is the case, I would suggest that you start watching this next video. In this next video, I actually debunk that suggestion, and I give you the facts as to why birth control is not the best choice in clearing your acne. See you in the next video. Bye.